Hello and welcome to my meditation. My name is Debra Baker and I am so grateful that you have joined me today. We are continuing to explore ourselves. Since the beginning of 2023, we have been following this path of learning a little bit more about ourselves, because one of my passions, part of my life's work is helping people to love themselves. And the better you know yourself, the easier it is to love yourself. So let's begin. I'm going to get off camera so you can just close your eyes and relax. And just as a little side note, I'm coming to you from Tucson, Arizona. And I had the window open behind me so that you could look out at the desert, but it was too bright. You couldn't even see me. The backlighting was so strong. So anyway, let's relax, start breathing deeply, and get into our meditation. And we have a rare treat today, which is being able to watch the flames of a fireplace. So let's take a nice deep breath. The first of 3 to begin our meditation. And the next one, take a little bit deeper breath and exhale a little more slowly. And the third time, take the deepest breath you've taken all day and exhale as slowly as is comfortable. So in order that we can spend more time on the actual meditation and a little bit less time focusing on relaxing our bodies, I invite you, first of all, to make sure that you are comfortable, and then tighten up all of the muscles in your body. And if you saw the meditation where Lacey taught you how to do pretzel, I think she called it pretzel breathing or something, but basically you just kind of wrap your arms around each other and your legs around each other, and you just tense everything up. So imagine just like tensing your whole body toward the middle. Your arms, your hands, bring your head down to your shoulders. Squeeze your legs together, curl your toes. Hold it for a second and then just let it all go. And one of the advantages of that practice is that it increases the blood flow, which really is helpful for relaxation. So I was asking my guides about this meditation instant among my travels here in Houston and also in Red River, New Mexico, which is where we went first, and I'll have some pictures at the end of the meditation if you'd like to see them. But the one phrase that, because we've talked about what we like to do and our emotions and things like that, and so this week we're going to look at things that we are ready to let go of, or what we might consider unfinished business. So we'll also have some period of silence, and I invite you to just see the very first thing that comes up when you think of in your life what you might have as unfinished business. And let's divide your possible answers into 2 categories. So the first one is if there is something you can do about it. So I'll confess, years ago, someone volunteered me to do some sewing for someone, and they gave me the piece, and I was just in the middle of a really busy time in my life, and I set it aside, and then it got, set aside further. And many years later, I still have that pair of pants that I was supposed to hem. And there is something I can do about it. I can bring it back to the person that it belongs to and apologize and, just tell her it wasn't my intention to not do what she, had asked me to do. And so just think about for a second, is there something that, it's like it's in the back of your head, or you walk past it in your house and you go, oh, I need to take care of that. Let's make a commitment to one another right now to handle in the next week, before our next meditation, to handle one of those things, to get one thing off our to-do list or one thing off our plate that feels like unfinished business. Maybe it's making a phone call, sending a note. And also, we have lots of ways to communicate these days. And if you are dreading making a phone call for one reason or another, send a text or send an email or send a note in the mail. Whatever you need to do, just kind of ask your inner self, what do I need to do to bring closure to this? It doesn't have to be as awful as you might think. And then there's those other things that, the other category is things that are unfinished business that we can't physically resolve them for one reason or another. The person has moved away, or you've lost track of them, or for whatever reason, maybe they died. For whatever reason, you're unable to, make amends to that person, or bring to closure whatever it feels like unfinished business. I wasn't expecting to share this during this meditation, but it is an extremely powerful practice, and it's a Hawaiian healing technique called Ho-onoponopono. And if you'd like to learn more information about it, I highly recommend searching online Hawaiian healing technique. But it involves saying 4 statements. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. So I had this neighbor that had done this sweet little cross stitch for my husband and me when we got married, and while we thanked her when she gave us the gift, or he did, he was there when we received it, I always meant to send her a thank you note, and I just didn't. And every time I'd walk past her house, I'd be reminded. And then I realized, I don't know how much time passed, and she had moved, and I didn't have any way to follow her. So my guide suggested one morning while I was taking my walk that I begin the Hawaiian healing technique. And so in my mind, and it really works whether you're actually saying it to the person, and I think most times how it works is if you are not saying it to the person, but saying it kind of spiritually, mentally to them. So I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And I've done this with some people who have really hurt me, because I just wanted to get rid of that feeling of hurt, that feeling of being wronged or victimized. And I was amazed, and sometimes they're the last people we want to apologize to. But it works. So I'm going to say each of the statements, and then I'm going to have a little bit of silence so that you can just kind of let it soak in. So first we'll have a little bit of silence so you can think of just any situation. It doesn't have to be huge. It can be, something really minor. whatever popped into your mind. Just allow yourself to think the phrase, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And many of you know that I work a 12-step program, and one of the steps is about when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. And I try to practice that. And I remember I had a situation happen when I was in college, and it was something that I just, it was just a lapse in judgment. And one roommate was talking to me about another, and the other one was in earshot, and I didn't realize. And so I immediately went to her, because that's what it felt like the right thing to do, and I apologized, and I said, I certainly never meant to hurt your feelings. And, and I just kind of explained to her, and I guess in a sense I was doing the Ho-onoponopono in an abbreviated version. And I think the part of that about I'm sorry, please forgive me is kind of obvious, but the I love you is more of like an agape love. Like I really love everything that your presence in my life has given me. And I love you in the same way that you are another human being walking this earth. And we both are expressions of the infinite. And so it's the infinite presence in me loves the infinite presence in you. And I don't have to explain that. And thank you for this opportunity, because I think some of the most sacred places on earth are when old wounds are healed, and that pain and that sorrow and that suffering is replaced with love. And sometimes we seek to, create that experience of healing, and we are not met with the same intention. And then we have another opportunity, which is to honor ourselves for trying to create a healing. And then the Ho-onopono goes kind of like we're saying it in the mirror. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, thank you. And my guides are suggesting that each of us take a moment this week, and maybe several moments would be even better, to look in the mirror and practice Ho-onoponopono with ourselves. And as I'm saying that, the energy behind that is just getting stronger and stronger. And just look yourself in the eye, in the mirror. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. So let's begin now to bring our attention back to this moment as we bring this meditation to a close. Take another really nice deep breath. And I will try to create a slide at the end of this meditation with the 4 statements from Ho-onoponopono, in case you didn't remember them. And I realize that sometimes they are hard to remember the first time you hear something or are introduced to something. So let's just give ourselves permission to relax throughout this day or the evening whenever you listen to this meditation, and to remember that the infinite presence moving in, through, and as me honors and recognizes the infinite presence moving in, through, and as you. Namaste.